But 20 years later, right? Think about that though. Like your entry point to some people was that verse on We Dem Boyz.
Oh yeah,
like that was like the Jeezy. Okay, he's here. Like, do you feel as a competitor? I'm gonna talk to you as a competitor now. Do you feel like that was the greatest debut verse?
I think that was the first time, and I just want to paint the scenery for you.
Yeah, please, because that's arguably the greatest debut verse.
So I'm gonna paint a picture for you. So the statute of limitation is good.
Yeah, we good. We past 20.
I couldn't pass 20. I'm gonna put that out there. 20, too old. This is the scene. God rest her soul. Kim Porter and Ebony Electric give me a call, and they said come to the studio. And I go over to the studio. Shout out to Block. And
shout out to Block.
Yep, I'm a Block Entertainment. I'm a street guy. Jazzy Faye too. I'm a street guy. I'm getting a little buzz. I'm spending my own money. I got Streets is watching out. Trap or Die ain't even out yet. And I go in this studio session, and it's 3 of the coldest guys I ever seen. Like, they was writers. They were artists. And I'm just leaving. I'm smelling like a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Probably got in the truck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I pull up in a Ferrari. You know, I got all the accolades, but I'm not where they are, you know,
as
musically.
artists. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody trying to get with you on a basketball court. It's just like, shit, you know, you've been doing this. So for me, it was just like, that was the most pressure I ever been under like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was almost like, damn, they like when I was writing in my sessions, it was just me and my people. I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people helping me with bars, but it's like, he the guy. You know what I mean? So now I'm in the room. I don't got nobody with me because I just pulled up on them because I trusted them. I don't got my engineer because I had a very unique style of recording because it was easy for me to break up my words and my sentences so I can fill in the gaps with my ad-libs and do my whole little formula.
Of course, yep.
Now I ain't got my guy to do that. And now I'm under all this pressure. You got one of my favorite rappers there. Trick Daddy was in the building. You know, all these guys was there. You know what I'm saying? And I want to clarify something too. I didn't never tell everybody to get out of the studio. That don't even make sense. I ain't even cut like that. That sounds
Is that a folktale at this point?
This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But like, whatever. But what happened was I was taking so long to write the verse because I wanted it to be good that people started to stray out of the room.
Okay.
And which made it more comfortable for me because when I was by myself, I was able to really focus. And I'm going to tell you, it happened 2 times. It happened this time, and it happened when I wrote Love in the Club.
Wow.
Because it was the same pressure. It's for Usher, Polos, and everybody. I mean, it's crazy. You know what I mean? A room full of people. And it happened when I wrote, I don't know if y'all know, but I dropped the ball on that one. And when I wrote my verse for Drunken Love for Beyonce.
Oh, wow.
Because I was on Drunken
I didn't even know he was on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You had a
Hov called
verse on
me.
that.
He was like, I took you off the song, by the way, I'm on there. I was like, shit, I figured that. but anyway, I was under so much pressure.
My fault. Is there a Drunken Love version floating out there?
It's somebody's drive.
Somewhere? Okay.
It's somebody's drive.
Somebody gonna hit us in the chat with
Tell
that
me
link.
we need to put that out. You know what I'm saying? Some vintage. But I really wanted to go hard, and I just had to figure out a way to come on this record so real, because that's the only thing I had in my toolbox that I know nobody else had. I was living it as we speak. Like everything I said in that verse probably happened 45 minutes before I got in the room. You know what I'm saying? So I just went and spoke my truth. And I'll never forget, I'm riding down 285 one day, and I hear the verse on the radio. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, they about to, first of all, I heard the song. I'm just going crazy because it's like, I'm on the song. And I'm like, they about to bleep all this shit out. And they didn't bleep anything. But the streets was going crazy because if you really think about it, this is the first time you ever hearing somebody talk like this on the radio.
Yep.
And it's so street and it's so in code, they can't detect it. They don't even know what I'm saying. So they played the whole verse. And I thought that was the most clever thing about it because I'm getting it off and the streets are going crazy. So to answer your question, absolutely one of the hardest verses because I think that was the verse that opened up the door for people to be able to speak how they speak on the radio now. Because if you remember back then, they would bleep anything out that sounded like anything. And when people realized that you can speak in code and get away with it, it was like the floodgates open.
Yeah, I think
That's why we had that. That's why we had that. I wanted to ask you that question.
Yeah. That
because
happened.
it was a period.
Yeah,
that changed a lot of shit in the game right there.
Yeah,
there was a lot of,
for me.
There was a lot of bluntness when you would hear it talked about before, but the way you would rap about it,
but that was what was in my wheelhouse because I was with such great writers that I knew my only win was to talk directly to my people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is not a time for me to try to be a lyricist. You know what I'm saying? This is time to like talk directly to them because they're gonna advocate for me. They're gonna be like, yo, he talking that. You know, you tell somebody if it's taking too long to lock up, bring it back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give me about an hour. Come on, man. That makes sense.
Yeah,
was that the genesis?
That verse, I mean, that hit different though, champ. Like, and only because of my experience.
Of course,
it was like it was not this. It was very parallel of like storytelling.
Yep.
Right. So when you heard that, as an athlete, as a basketball player, coming from where I came from. It was certain people who resonated to us.
Right.
And they became our soundtrack to games and working out and training, where you only listen to certain people, right? Some other niggas might be nice and make good music, but it was only a couple people who really resonated with me, right? So if you go back, you ask somebody, who's fucking Mellow listen to all the time? They're going to give you the same 4 or 5 people because they know that music has always been a backdrop, right? So though Jeezy back then was always a backdrop to anything that I've done. It was a couple artists that was backdrops, and you only heard that in the locker room, on the bus, headphones. You know what I mean? Because it was a song that you could relate to in every different fashion, and the way that I was moving at that point in time, I needed that, and that was like. Right. You know, it was almost like an energy
battery in the back.
I needed it, but I didn't need it.
I mean, here's the thing. At the same time, I don't want to dive too deep into the connection.
We
but it is what it is, right? Like you said it. You're making me. My superpower is I'm going to speak to the people I need to speak to. Like that's almost the genesis of Thug Motivation, right there.
And what it was is like I said, Tupac was my therapist before I knew I needed a therapist. But he spoke directly to me. And what I mean by speaking directly to my people, that's people who want to overachieve. That's people who have adversity. That's somebody who has to overcome something, no matter what it is. I mean, if Michael Phelps would tell you that he was winning gold medals listening to it,
it's a fact.
They just tell you where it's at. You know, Jay Bellis still tweets every day. Shout out to Jay. He still tweets every morning Jeezy lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Because it represents that if you understand it. So I think the parallel between that and being an athlete and being an overachiever and being somebody who's every day of your life, you're up against something. There's an opposition. You know what I'm saying? No matter what that is, you have to overcome because this is who you are.
Right.
So it's tribal music for champions.
Yeah, it was soulful. It was very soulful trap music. Like, you know what I mean? Before you knew what trap music was.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody knew what trap music was.
And
like,
the craziest thing, I was just making what I felt. Like I didn't even understand when they started
it wasn't a genre yet.
Right. Because
nobody's even heard of it.
with Tip was doing it, but I was kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna just do what I do.
Yeah.
And then when they started pairing us, I was like, oh, so they think it's the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then as it started to, just because at one point it was just me, Tip, and Luda in Atlanta.
Yep. And Tip had trap music.
Right.
The album.
Right. So it was kind of like that was his.
The stamp was there already.
Yeah, it was there. Yeah. But I was just making what I felt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And doing what I knew how to do. But I was always a fan of music. Like, and people listen to music to enjoy it. I learned from music. Like, music to me is like how podcasts are for people now. I would religiously like listen over and over and over and try to get the gems and the notes and okay, what do I do then? And that's how I was really like handling my business because I was like taking it to heart. Like when Pac was saying stuff, like I was like listening, like, okay. Yeah, and that's why I say now it's different because with the message of the music, they keep moving the goalposts because like everybody think they got their definition of what's real now and they're just like, I don't know about that because I'm not listening to everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to people that I respect. But I'm not listening to what everybody claims is how you, just handle your moral compass, because everybody ain't solid. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't real. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean I need to listen to everybody.